Ramsey was murdered and left in her family's basement. And now, for the first time, grand jury documents reveal they recommended charges against her parents, including accessory to murder. But the district attorney chose not to file the true bill. With me, defense attorney Steve Razor and forensic pathologist and Fox News contributor Dr. Michael Baden. All right, let me start with the legal before I get to you, Dr. Steve. What could this DA have been thinking? Now, you worked in my office when I was a DA. If you ever went in the grand jury, got an indictment, and then deep-sixed it, I would have fired you.
Probably so, but I'm sure that the DA had made the decision. This wasn't made by the person who actually entered in the evidence to the grand jury. I mean, okay. So I think you probably would have cleared that first before I ever made a statement in that regard. However, I think what happened here is they presented all the information they had, all the evidence to the grand jury, which they normally don't have to do in these type of cases. Normally, you could put forward just your strongest information, your strongest evidence. That's enough to secure an indictment. Probably what happened is they got the indictment, but after the prosecutor actually had the opportunity to see all the evidence, realized, you know what, this is never going to get me beyond a reasonable doubt.
You know why this makes no sense? Why do you ask the grand jury to vote on the indictment? And I've got right here a true bill, signature redacted. They placed her in a situation which posed a threat of injury to her life or health, which resulted in her death. Right. There are 4 counts like that. A true bill signed by the grand jury foreman. You're kidding.
Well, absolutely. And I think that was absolutely a mistake. However, they're the ones that are going to have to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. And after the grand jury voted a true bill, if they decide they don't want to go forward with that, they're going to make their best decision. The sooner, the better.
Have you ever heard of that being done? Ever?
I have not.
I have never, and no. I've been in this business a long time.
Highly unusual.
And you know what? To me, it's more than unusual. There's a lot going on there. Dr. Baden, you know the Jonbenet Ramsey case very well. It's been 17 years.
Right.
Is there anything that we can look at now, knowing now that a grand jury looked at the evidence and wanted an indictment, but the DA wouldn't go with it? What could give us more information?
Well, the only thing that could probably give us more information is have a further look at the clothing. Exhuming the body would probably not yield any meaningful evidence at this stage, but the clothing, which should still have been preserved, might be more easily looked at. Henry Lee had looked at the panties at one time, forensic scientist, and found the foreign DNA, but attributed it that it could have been attributed to people who handled the panties in packaging it or in washing it and folding it.
But are you saying that technology is advanced? So now if we look at her panties, we might be able to find something more indicative of who the killer was? And by the way, what's with these DAs? You had Alex Hunter, who gets true bills, who won't take it to court. Then you got Mary Lacey, who's dragging in that guy from Hong Kong or Thailand. Remember that one? To charge him with the death?
Mary Lacey apparently was did not think the parents had anything to do with the death, and arrested this guy in Thailand, and then released him. And then released him. It was a waste of a lot of taxpayers' money. But
you know what's telling to me, Doctor, is that the grand jury said that the Ramseys did assist someone after the death.
This reminds me, I had a case once a while ago, a child abuse case. And when the mom and the dad wouldn't each accuse the other of doing the injuries, here that's not the case.